Well, good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all here and want to begin this morning with a special announcement. I'd like to invite Dr. McCurdy to come up. We were, as you may recall, the City of Lima filed eminent domain action on a couple of property owners for real estate that is needed for the Rhodes State College project downtown. And that led to a series of steps, which included appraisals, updated appraisals, and then meetings with the property owners. We were able a couple months ago to reach a settlement with one of the property owners, and then last Thursday in a formal mediation conducted by Judge Jeff Reed in Common Pleas Court, we were also able to settle on the final parcels. So we now have in effect site control for all the parcels necessary for the project to proceed, and we'll be going to Lima City Council in not Monday's meeting because paperwork isn't wrapped up, but I think the April 23rd meeting. We expect to be at council seeking authority to transfer the real estate that we've acquired to Rhodes. So they'll then be in a position to move to the next step. So I wanted to invite Dr. McCurdy to also make some comments about where we're at now. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. And thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I think those are wonderful words to hear. Site control. We've waited a long time, and thanks to the final push with the mayor and the city council and others that we have finally arrived here. We are moving along. We've been moving along behind the scenes, but the final outcome had to rest with the site control. So as we move forward with the plans now for the Center for Health Science Education and Innovation, that we will and are moving forward with the project management side of the house. And what project management really means is that this will be all of the process that it will take for the design, the construction, the bid process, and so forth. We are tentatively working now with the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission out of Columbus, who once paperwork has been cleared and signed, that we will work closely with them with the oversight for the project, which remains at the 50,000 plus. So we've played somewhat with the square footage, but we expect it to be 50,000 plus. We're still doing upwards towards 20 million. We have a lot of internal work to do, certainly with our own institution and the program design, which is everything that goes into the building. But this would never have come about to this level without the support from the mayor, members of city council, who really stepped forward and provided the support and the authority for so much to happen with the property side. We'll be looking to partner now in a more direct way, and looking forward to talking with the hospitals, both local hospitals, St. Rita's and Lima Memorial, other surrounding hospitals with regard to the facility, hopefully to partner with them for some training opportunities. And it's going to give us a wonderful opportunity to expand out of our immediate 10 county service area to 25 counties that we will be reaching out to. We already have partnerships with several 2- and 4-year institutions with regard to the health sciences field as well, and we expect to see that grow. So what we expect to see is an outpouring of students coming from all places where we can really set up the kinds of opportunities that the state of Ohio has called for, and that is the collaboration with program development with both 2- and 4-year partnerships, and this will be an excellent model for that type of collaboration at the educational level, in addition to the collaboration with the city as the government component, with business and industry, both with hospitals and other healthcare entities. And so we've said it before, this project should be a model, certainly for this area and certainly for the state, and we're looking forward to progressing now very quickly, with people saying, what's the holdup? The holdup really was the site control, which we now have. So what we're looking at now is moving forward. So the benefits to the community, the benefits to the state, the economic impact for downtown, the opportunities for our students, the opportunities to bring in an innovative program, an innovative facility is just unlimited, and we couldn't be more excited. And again, so thanks to Mayor Berger, City Council, and all of its members, our Board of Trustees, our foundation boards, and people got on board with this very early, and really we didn't see the support waver. And that is what has helped with moving the project forward. So it's a sustainable opportunity for us. It isn't going to go away. It's going to be an anchor, another anchor along with the Civic Center downtown. We hope that it's going to attract the business and the industries and retail that one would hope that we're going to see with some additional revitalization of downtown Lima. And so thank you all again for the strong support. And Mr. Mayor, we look to begin to have many conversations with the city and others about the project and the design of the project and setting the schedule. The schedule cannot yet be set until we get to the full project management, but we will have that information and be talking further about when will the date be where you actually are seeing the facility, and when are you going to see that first shovel of dirt, which we are looking forward to turning that shovel. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
McCurdy. I do have a written news release here for the media. Just want to emphasize again the efforts that came from the law department, as well as private attorneys that we hired. Mike Rumor's office was of great assistance. And then, though this was scheduled to actually be heard in Judge Cheney's court, a necessary step in the process was to go to mediation, which is a formal facilitated process that was in this instance conducted by Judge Jeff Reed. Took us about 2.5 hours. I frankly have to say I was not confident we'd get to a settlement, but due to the judge's very, I think, deliberate engagement on this, he was able to ultimately bring about the kind of settlement that I think is fair to all parties and will allow us to move forward. So we expect all the paperwork there to be wrapped up in the next couple weeks, and then we'll be coming forward to, as I said, to council for authority to transfer the real estate to Rhodes or its foundation. I'm not exactly sure which of the entities will be the party that will receive it, but we're anxious to have that done. So thank you. We'll move on then to other guests that we have here. I want to begin with Ryn Farmer from the Rape Crisis Program at Crime Victim Services. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ryn Farmer, and I'm the Rape Crisis and Anti-Human Trafficking Director at Crime Victim Services. Crime Victim Services' mission is to help victims prevail over the trauma of their victimization by assisting and advocating for safety, healing, justice, and restitution. the Rape Crisis and Anti-Human Trafficking Department at Crime Victim Services is eager to involve the community in Sexual Assault Awareness Month as well as Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month throughout April. Sexual Assault Awareness Month was first started by the National Sexual Violence Resource Center in 2001, and the purpose of this month is to foster mindfulness about the realities of sexual violence within our community, enhance survivor support, as well as celebrate the strength and resilience of survivors with whom we have the honor of serving. Last year, the Rape Crisis and Anti-Human Trafficking Department served 291 primary survivors of sexual violence. We walk alongside them after the assault occurred to help connect them to resources and support them regardless of whether or not they make a report to law enforcement. Additionally, since 2013, our Child Advocacy Center has served 540 child survivors of sexual violence in our community. The CAC is a place where children who have experienced sexual violence can receive an array of services including a forensic interview, medical exam, victim advocacy, mental health support, and a report to law enforcement. We are eager to remind the community about Denim Day, which is Wednesday, April 25th this year. Denim Day was started in the 90s after an Italian Supreme Court overturned a rape conviction because it was said that the survivor's jeans were too tight and she must have had to help the rapist remove them, thereby implying consent. We wear jeans on this day to commemorate the survivor and to stand in solidarity with all survivors, making the statement that there is no excuse and never an invitation to rape. There will be jeans with empowering messages displayed outside of our agency as we approach April 25th. We are also excited for 2 trivia nights that we're holding this year for the first time. The first will be at Jay's Pub on April 18th at 6:30, and the second trivia night will be at Somewhere in Time on April 25th at 6 p.m. While we know that alcohol does not cause sexual violence, before these events take place, we'll be holding a safe bars training with both of these bars to help create more safety around alcohol use. So many of you are probably aware about the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement has gained a significant amount of momentum recently through social media, in workplaces, on college campuses, and in people's homes. I want to share the roots of where the Me Too movement started. In 1997, a woman named Tarana Burke was meeting with a young adolescent girl, and her website states, "The Me Too movement started in the deepest, darkest place in my soul. As a youth worker dealing predominantly with children of color, I had seen and heard my share of heartbreaking stories from broken homes to abusive or neglectful parents when I met Heaven. During an all-girl bonding session at our youth camp, several of the girls in the room shared intimate stories about their lives. Some were the tales of normal teenage angst, and others were quite painful. Just as I have done so many times before, I sat and listened to the stories and comforted the girls as needed. When it was over, the adults advised the young women to reach out to us in the event that they needed to talk to someone more or needed something else, and then we went our separate ways. The next day, Heaven, who had been in the previous night's session, asked to speak to me privately. Heaven was a sweet-faced little girl who kind of clung to me throughout the camp. However, her hyperactive and often anger-filled behavior betrayed both her name and light, high-pitched voice, and I was frequently pulling her out of some type of situation. As she attempted to talk to me that day, though the look in her eyes sent me in the other direction, she had a deep sadness and a yearning for confession that I read immediately and wanted no part of. Finally, later in the day, she caught up with me and almost begged me to listen, and I reluctantly conceded. For the next several minutes, this child, Heaven, struggled to tell me about her stepdaddy, or rather her mother's boyfriend, who was doing all sorts of monstrous things to her developing body. I was horrified by her words. The emotions welling inside of me ran the gamut, and I listened until I literally could not take it anymore, which turned out to be less than 5 minutes. Then, right in the middle of her sharing pain with me, I cut her off and immediately directed her to another female counselor who could help her better. I will never forget the look on her face. I will never forget the look because I think about her all of the time. The shock of being rejected, the pain of opening a wound only to have it abruptly forced close again. It was all over her face. And as much as I loved children, as much as I cared about that child, I could not find the courage that she had found. I could not muster the energy to tell her that I understood, that I connected, that I could feel her pain. I couldn't help her release her shame or impress upon her that nothing that had happened to her was her fault. I could not find the strength to say out loud the words that were ringing in my head over and over again as she tried to tell me about what she'd endured. I watched her walk away from me as she tried to recapture her secrets and tuck them back into her hiding place. I watched her put her mask back on and go back into the world like she was all alone, and I couldn't even bring myself to whisper, "Me too," Tarana Burke. Survivors often decide not to report to law enforcement or tell their family or friends because they are fearful of retaliation from the perpetrator. They don't trust the police. They are afraid there isn't enough evidence. They think that no one will believe them, and so many other reasons. Regardless of whether or not survivors decide to make a formal report, it is the responsibility of the community, of us, to believe them and support them as they heal through the trauma of their experience. This isn't something that's just happening in Hollywood, in the political realm, or in large cities. It's happening right here in Lima. This problem is everyone's business. If we are going to stop sexual violence from happening in the first place, if we are going to adequately support, advocate, and believe survivors when they have the courage to come forward, if we are going to say no more, then we must begin to have these conversations with each other. And we must stop shaming the girls, the boys, the women, and the men who are brave enough to say, "Me too." Thank you, Mayor Berger.
I do have a proclamation that I'd like to present regarding sexual assault. Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month calls attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and impacts every person in the Lima community. Whereas 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men report experiencing rape at some time in their lives. Whereas since the opening of the Child Advocacy Center of West Central Ohio in 2013, over 540 child victims of sexual violence have been served in our community. Child sexual abuse must be addressed in 1 in 4 girls, and 1 in 6 boys will be victims of sexual abuse. And whereas on college campuses, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 14 men are victims of sexual violence, with 90% going unreported. Whereas the purpose of Sexual Assault Awareness Month is to bring the Lima community together, to shed light and promote a movement of awareness, education, and action. This problem is everyone's business. Let us end the silence and be reminded that every day is a chance to generate a revolution for the future of our community, to bring an end to sexual violence. Now, therefore, I, David J. Berger, Mayor of the City of Lima, to hereby proclaim the month of April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in our community, and ask all citizens to join advocates and communities around the nation in playing an active role to prevent sexual violence among youth and adults. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the seal of the City of Lima, this day of April 2018. Good luck in your work.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Josh Unterbrink is here from Activate Allen County to talk about a wellness expo. Josh, good morning.
Good morning. I'm here to help promote the Bridging the Gap Health and Wellness Expo, which will be taking place Saturday, April 14th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Lima Senior High School. The mission of Bridging the Gap is to enrich our underserved community by improving access to health care, increased education, resources, and awareness. And we're trying to have a fun, family-friendly, free event to kind of get the word out about all things health and wellness here in the community. So there's a number of activities planned for that day, but some of which are bike safety checks. Free bike helmets will be given away to the first 75 children that attend. Free T-shirts for the first 100 adults. There'll be car seat safety checks, Zumba demos, hip-hop demos, chair massages. DARE will be there making ID cards for the children. There'll be cancer screenings such as CT scans, skin cancer screenings, blood pressure screenings, osteoporosis screenings. healthy eating and active living demos and tips, sleep disorder information, and many more other booths. There is also going to be a speaker talking about the tragedy of addiction, Ralph Warren. He'll be speaking throughout the morning as well. So once again, that event is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, April 14th, free and open to the public, so we're encouraging everyone to come on down. And also, I want to thank the two major sponsors for the event, which is Paramount Health and Buckeye Health, and Paramount Advantage Healthcare. If anyone has further questions or is liking additional information about the event, you can call Cheryl Nagy at 419-998-4461.
Location.
Lima Senior High School. It'll be park in the main parking lot, and it'll be kind of in the cafeteria area right when you enter the school. Thanks.
Very good. Thank you. And Jessie Roark, who is the president of LACNIP, here to talk about springtime, right? Good morning.
Good morning, thank you. I'm here to talk about the Ottawa River Cleanup. Lima Allen County Neighborhoods in partnership in collaboration with the Ottawa River Coalition, Keep Allen County Beautiful, the City of Lima, OmniSource, and Right Refuse would like to invite everyone to come out for the 25th year of the Ottawa River Cleanup. The Ottawa River Cleanup first began in 1993 and has only grown from that time until now. Last year, the Ottawa River Cleanup drew 474 volunteers from all over Allen County, and we look to grow that for this 25th year. This year, the Ottawa River Cleanup will be held on April 28th at the American Red Cross Chapter House, registration starting at 8:30. Every volunteer will receive a free t-shirt, lunch, and supplies needed to collect trash along the river. As in the past, we are expecting a good amount of volunteers to look forward to working with them to keep our community beautiful. The required volunteer form is online at LACRPC. Click on the Environment tab and follow the link to the Ottawa River Cleanup. The fact sheet for the event is also available online at the City Hall, cityhall.lima.oh.us. You can find more information on Facebook by visiting and liking the City of Lima Department of Community Development page. Our volunteers are encouraged to print off and bring the completed volunteer form with them to the event. All forms necessary to participate are also available at the event. For those who have large groups, we can send the forms to them by contacting Autumn Swanson at 221-5177. We're very excited for the 25th year of the Ottawa River Cleanup and look forward to working with all our volunteers to make this a groundbreaking year for participation. If anyone wanting to volunteer for the event or has any questions, contact Autumn Swanson at 419-221-5177 or myself, Jessie Roark, at 419-302-4166.
Very good.
25 years.
It's a long time with lots of stuff pulled out of the river and collected on the banks. And when you think about it, I mean, the transformation of the river over the last 2.5 decades is very significant. Some of you that may not be from Lima may not know that it was once called a variety of names, but it was not seen as anything but really an open sewer. But the city's investment in a variety of both sewer improvements, which we're, of course, continuing at this point, along with the bike path, which has been developed, now stretching over 9 miles from the Ottawa Park out to Heritage Park, really has made the river a focus of our community's attention, and it deserves it. So the cleanup along the banks is really important for making it the kind of place that we want to spend leisure time. And I didn't realize, my recollection was that we've had 300 to 350 volunteers, but the idea that we're close to 500 is just spectacular. So congratulations on that. Chris Fast is here from the Income Tax Department, because I know you all want to know how to pay your income taxes.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. Just a few announcements with tax time coming up. First and foremost, the filing deadline to get your Lima tax filed and or paid will be Tuesday, April 17th. And our normal business hours are 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can bring all your information into our office, and the staff will file your Lima tax for you, and our assistance is always free. Other thing, we're still getting some tax returns in without the 1040s. A reminder that the residents need to include the front page of their 1040 when filing, also along with all their W-2s and any other attachments. Also, for taxpayer convenience, we will be open to the public on Saturday, April 14th from 8 a.m. to noon to give assistance in getting your City of Lima tax return filed. That's the last Saturday before the deadline. So again, we're offering that assistance to the taxpayers. And also a reminder, if you're mailing your tax return in, make sure you do have a postmark on or before April 17th as to not run into any penalties, interest, or late fees.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. We were looking for Randy Colai as well this morning. He was going to talk to us about fishing, but he's not here. So I believe that's all that we have for this morning, so we'll break down for individual interviews. Thank you all for your attendance.